Well, the four A's that I list are pretty arbitrary. I could have mentioned more, but they include healthy anger because a lot of people grew up in circumstances when they weren't allowed to experience healthy anger. And healthy anger is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's a boundary defense. If you don't know, like you say you were bullied in school, part of your problem when you were bullied was that you didn't have how to be in touch with your healthy anger. And the bully can always sense that because the healthy anger is just a boundary defense. It says, no, you're in my space, get out. A lot of kids are socialized out of their healthy anger because of parenting practices that we talked about. So healthy anger is just says, no, really important. It's not the same as rage. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It's a boundary defense. So that's an important A, is the capacity to set boundaries. People who develop autoimmune disease usually have no capacity for healthy anger, or at least their capacity for healthy anger has been suppressed. As the anger that is suppressed turns against them, so does the immune system. That's why there's so much autoimmune disease amongst women, by the way, because in the society, they're told that the woman's anger is unacceptable. I'm not talking about rage, I'm talking about healthy anger. So that's the first A. Another A is agency, the sense of that we're in charge of our lives, that we're the ones to make the decisions. So that even if I go to a doctor with a health issue, ultimately I'm the one that's going to decide what path is right for me. I'll take the advice respectfully, but it's up to me. And the same thing is true in everyday life. Who's in charge of your life? Who's living your life? Authenticity that you and I have already talked about. That's another one of the A's. So there's various concepts that we adopt them that can help us live. I didn't put this into the book, but awareness is an important A, of mindful awareness, because so much of our functioning, to speak for myself, but most people I know, is unconscious. So to be aware of our minds and what arises in our minds is just an important dynamic. So there's lots of pathways to healing. I never say that the ones that I outline is the only one. I think the biggest thing is curiosity towards oneself, the willingness to ask questions, the willingness to let go of ideas that no longer serve us, the commitment to be authentic, the willingness to learn from negative experience. Or disease can be a great teacher, addiction can be a great teacher. I mean, let me ask you this. When you consider what you've learned from coping with your addictions and overcoming them, aren't you grateful for the learning that you've been able to acquire?
Of course, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So the addiction was your greatest teacher, wasn't it?
Yeah. Why do we have to go through such painful experiences, though, to get these lessons? I just wish that, obviously I'm grateful.
I wish it was otherwise. In the book I quote this Greek playwright, Aeschylus, 2,500 years ago. He said that the way the master or God created us, we have to suffer into truth. And let's face it, suffering is a big wake-up call. Now, I don't recommend that people should suffer to wake up. I'm trying to make people conscious before the suffering happens. But when suffering does come along, we can use it as a teacher, not just as an enemy to get rid of. What is this trying to teach me now? So keeping that mind of curiosity open, I think, is so essential.